Oh my god, it has been so long since we last talked. Like, seriously, if the first studio log was pregnant, it would have had the baby by now. You have my apologies for that, because you and I have a few things to talk about. Okay, let's talk about the current state of the Valley Ritual. Number one, I am not alone anymore. That's right, the project has gone from a single lone Puerto Rican ranger to a three-piece. I am joined by two other members now who play guitar and drums, whose names I will release later on as we get some proper promotional material together and pictures and stuff like that. But regardless, this means that your boy, Manny, is playing bass and still handling the bree rah 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 stuff. I love playing bass, so I'm looking forward to giving it more focus than I ever really did as a full-time guitarist. But yeah, we're practicing regularly and keeping ourselves open for a fourth member to cover the other guitar slot, if you will. Do we think we can play shows as a three-piece? Yes. And so far we plan to. Do we want to keep playing as a three-piece? Do we plan to give up at any point and just convert into a three-piece? Oh god, no. We're shooting to play our first and potentially sucky show in the first quarter of 2019. So if you give a shit and maybe live somewhere in Central Florida, prepare yourselves. Let's talk about the Luminara drafts. I wrote Remembrance a few years ago at this point, and I'm always thinking of new ideas and songs and riffs, stuff like that. So right after Remembrance was released, I started writing songs for the next EP. It's currently codenamed the Luminara drafts. Much like our first release, it will have a theme, it'll have a story. It'll be another concept EP. It's planned to be 6 songs long, which all the names are already visible and the idea is laid out, but it could end up being much more. At the very least, it will be longer than Remembrance, which only really clocks in at about 28 minutes. Mind you, the Luminara drafts are exactly what they sound like. Drafts. They're demos. It will always be free, and once all the songs are written, we'll take them into the studio for a proper professional production. So the songs are, by all means, subject to change, to complete modifications and structural changes. But the idea being that you kind of get to follow along with us during this writing process as we formulate this idea. Here's what we've got. And then at the end of it, we polish it and we give it to you proper. 3 songs are already roughly written and recorded, so if you're curious, come check us out on Bandcamp. So far, it's more technical and a bit heavier, which has really been the goal. I want us to push ourselves as musicians and really pour our hearts into it. Merchandise. There isn't much, but we've got shirts and CDs. The plan there being that once we start playing live and maybe have a venue to really offer this stuff at, we'll look into getting more prints of both. I also really hope to have a vinyl release sometime in 2019, and maybe a whole new shirt design to go along with the original. But what's next? We practice and we write, and we continue to create. I'd like for this channel to be a little more than just what's on Manny's mind or what is the Valley Ritual up to. I want to make videos about the music that's influenced us. I want to talk about our stories, our methods, talk about gear, get to know each other a bit. So I plan for studio logs to become much more frequent, and you may see a new series of videos or 2 come out alongside them. And hopefully you'll have all of the Luminara drafts maybe by the summer. Maybe, just maybe, the full release will be out in the world by this time next year. So once again, if you're here, thank you. If you listen, thank you. What you hear when you listen to Remembrance is our bare soul exposed. That is always what myself and the other members of the Valley Ritual will always strive for. So you're appreciated, and I look forward to the next time we speak.